Welcome back to the S&T podcast. Today, or this episode, we're going to be talking about the Ole Miss Rebels at the Georgia Bulldogs. Ole Miss, number 5, undefeated at 6-0. Georgia, just one loss to Alabama at number 9. Home game for Georgia. And I suppose just after what we saw last week with Ole Miss and Washington State, I definitely feel confident in Georgia. I think Ole Miss is just kind of always going to be that little brother type of team in the SEC where they'll have some good years. Their schedule looks or their record looks good, but when it comes down to it, you got Big Brother, Georgia, Alabama. Um, I like those are the two. Kind of Texas, Oklahoma's in there now, but I think for consistency wise, just Alabama and Georgia are still the big brother in the SEC. Texas is making a case, Oklahoma's making a case, but you Texas is compared to last year not doing very good. Oklahoma compared to last year is doing really good. So I like Georgia. I think Ole Miss is just going to be that little brother that they'll have a good record, they'll have a good season, but when it comes down to these big games, give me Georgia. What about you? What are you thinking over there, Cesar?
Yeah, Tom, I tend to agree with you. I think this season might be different. We'll wait and see. Right now, Ole Miss and A&M are leading the SEC. They're the two highest ranked teams. Well, yeah, Alabama because Alabama is number 6 or 7 right now. So yeah, Ole Miss and
Yeah, they're the only undefeated teams. Yeah.
yeah. So they're leading the SEC. Which is new. Those teams have always been good, but never been at the top in previous years. So it remains to see whether that will last or not. Ole Miss, I still think they're phonies. I still don't believe in Ole Miss, especially because what happened last week. Ole Miss barely escaped at home against Washington State. Washington State. And not the Washington State that they used to be, 10 wins, 9 wins, 8 wins. They're bad this year. Okay. So the fact that you're at home against Washington State and you only win by 3 points, unacceptable. But like that's damn near a loss for me, if you ask me. So Ole Miss ended up dropping a spot in the AP this past week. Only one spot because they're still undefeated. But I think Ole Miss is phony. And we'll see the rest of the season. They still have a couple teams ahead of them, including Oklahoma, as you talked about. So it remains to be seen. But yes, I think Ole Miss is still phony. A&M, I think they might be legit. We'll see. But we're talking about Ole Miss, Georgia here. Let me not get off track. Ole Miss going on the road to face the Georgia Bulldogs. The Georgia Bulldogs are still the class of the SEC. They lost one game to Bama. It doesn't matter. They always lose to Bama as usual, after losing to Bama like they do every year, they go on and beat everybody else. So Georgia's picking up exactly where they left off every season. This is what they do every year. They lose to Bama, they beat everybody else. So they already beat Tennessee. They beat Auburn last week. They're gonna beat Ole Miss. I got Georgia in this game. They're gonna keep beating teams. This is what they do. Not worried about Georgia. They're gonna be there at the top. It's basically just Georgia versus whoever else wants to show up in Atlanta for the SEC championship. So that's how it is. That's how it's going to remain. We'll see who shows up, but I think Georgia's still going to be there, and I think they're the better team. Their quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, he's really good. He's coming into his own. He's starting to improve each and every week. Kirby Smart, the head coach, of course, still holding him down. The defense has been suspect at times this season, you know, and that's usual for them. Against the big boys, Alabama, Tennessee, teams like that. They're going to give up points, but usually against the teams that they're supposed to be, like Auburn. Last week held them to 10 points. So this Georgia defense is for real. The offense is getting better. And I just think they're the better overall team. Ole Miss is not bad. Don't get me wrong. Ole Miss is not bad. Ole Miss is good. Ole Miss is probably better than they are, and usually they're probably better than they usually are, but I just still don't think they're at the top. I don't think they're a championship contender just yet. So remains to be seen. Maybe they'll prove me wrong this weekend. But we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out who's for real. And give me the Bulldogs to come out with the win here. I think it'll be a relatively close game, but I think Georgia will probably win by like 7, 10 points, something like that. 14, we'll see. So, give me Georgia, and they'll probably swap spots in the AP 25 next week. So, what am I trying to say?
Aspirations?
Like we're getting into the
Or
nitty gritty of the conference schedule. Like you're gonna have to start winning games if you want to show up at to your
oh, right,
championship. So
right.
the real teams are going to start proving themselves in these few remaining weeks. We're going to see who's for real. So can't wait to see it. And give me the Bulldogs. Like I said, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like that kind of. Just like what I was saying, I don't think anything's really wrong about Ole Miss. I think that they have an okay team. That most of the times, they're beating the teams they're supposed to. I guess like I would describe Ole Miss as like the upper middle class of the SEC, where they're not the top 1% yet. They're not the big daddy of the SEC, but just upper middle class. They have a good season year in, year out, have a good coach, Lane Kiffin. But yeah, I got Georgia. I don't think it's going to be a crazy blowout or anything like that. I think Georgia maybe wins. Like you said, I like 7 to 10, 7 to 14 points. So yeah, give me the dogs. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and peace.